dear students. Today I am here again with another chapter from class 7. The name of the chapter is Nutrition in Animals. I hope today all of you have taken your food. Now you might be thinking, why ma'am is asking about food? Because our topic is related to that. Nutrition, as we know, is taken by plants and animals both. Today we will concentrate only on nutrition in animals. We will talk about human because it will be easy for you to understand if I give you example of human being. Now, first and foremost thing is, why do we need food? We need food because it helps us to give energy. We need energy to do various activities of our life. Food also gives us the immunity to fight against diseases. It also helps to repair the damaged cell. So, food is very important for our body. Now, coming back to the topic of the chapter, nutrition. What is nutrition? We should know what is nutrition. So, nutrition, as you can see, is the process of obtaining food and changing it into simple absorbed form. Means the process in which we take food, we cannot use it like this. So it has to be reduced down into simpler form so that our body can absorb those things. And those things are called nutrients, which are present inside the food. Digestion is the process of breaking down of bigger food molecules into simpler form. In this process of digestion, the first thing that is there is we have to put the food in our mouth. Now, the process of intake of this food is called ingestion. Ingestion. Now, this process starts, after this process, the digestion process starts. Once we put the food in our mouth, the mouth starts the process of digestion, where the teeth chew the food down into smaller particles. These food particles get mixed with the saliva, which are there in the mouth, secreted by the salivary gland, and mixed with the food. This food becomes soft, which we call bolus. Now this food we swallow down through the pipe, we call it esophagus, and also known as food pipe. This food now goes through the food pipe and reaches the stomach. During this journey from mouth to stomach, the muscles of the food pipe, they relax and contract, and that process is called peristalsis. Now once the food reaches in our stomach, which is a U-shaped bag, where we have HCl and many digestive juices are there which acts on the food, where further digestion process takes place. From this stomach, the food enters to small intestine, then goes to the large intestine, and at the end come out through anus. In the small intestine, which is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meters long, it receives secretion from liver and the pancreas. Besides, its wall also secretes juices. The liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. It secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac called gallbladder. The bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. The pancreas is a large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrate, fats, proteins, and changes them into simpler forms. The partly digested food now reaches the lower part of small intestine, where the intestinal juices complete the digestion of all components of the food. The carbohydrates get broken down into simple sugars such as glucose, fats into fatty acids and glycerol, and proteins into amino acids. Now this digested food enters in our small intestine, where the nutrients are absorbed from the digested food. There in the small intestine, many villi are there, which are finger-like projections. Villi, they have network of blood capillaries which helps in absorption of the nutrients from the food. And these food nutrients are then transported to different parts of the body where these are then absorbed. This process of absorption of food by the different cells that are present in our body is called assimilation. After these nutrients being absorbed by the cell, these are broken down into simpler forms to release energy, which are used up by the cells for their metabolic activities. Once this process of digestion completes in the small intestine, the food enters to the large intestine, which is short and thick. In the large intestine, the rest of the digestion process continues, where maximum amount of water is being absorbed and few salts are also absorbed. The undigested foods are then released out from our body through anus. Our next topic that we are going to see is the digestion process in animals. We will see how the grass-eating animals, they have their food. You might have seen cows and buffaloes, they sit down on the grassland and they keep on chewing something. They keep on chewing those grasses that they had before. Now this process you will see in those herbivorous animals which have grass. Now it is very difficult for human being to digest raw plant parts. But animals, they have special chambers in their stomach which we call rumen, where there are they have 4-chamber stomach. We will see it in detail in higher classes, but for the time being, you can just keep this in mind that this grass-eating animal, when they have their food, it first goes to a chamber of their stomach that is called rumen. And they sit then and bring it back to their mouth and they keep on chewing so that it can be digested nicely. This whole process of bringing back of the cut and chewing it is called rumination. Next that we will see that is given in your book is how unicellular organisms, they take food. One example that they have given in your book is amoeba. Now amoeba is an interesting organism. It is an unicellular organism, single cell organism. Now this single cell organism, they don't have separate body parts for digestion to take place. This single cell organism, they do all the life processes that is done by an individual. Now when they see any foreign food, suppose here is one foreign food particle which it wants to have. Now what this amoeba will do, it will extend its body part in the form of false feet. And it will try to engulf that food particle and will try to bring it here, inside it. So after some time, what it will do, you will see that this food particle has entered here. After the digestion process is over, the waste particle is thrown out. So it will be just thrown out from their body. So this single cell is doing all this work. With this, we will come to this end of this chapter. So I hope you have understood. In a gist, I have tried to give my best to you so that you can have some idea about how digestion takes place in human, how it takes place in grass-eating animals, and how it takes place in unicellular organisms. Hope to see you further in my next videos.